Time now for Extra Points, where we talk to sports director Frank Cusimano about some of the hot sports topics of the day. But sitting in for Frank, who is with the Billikens in Buffalo, is Corey Miller. And Corey, let's talk about the Billikens. The one thing you worry about is they seem to have their peak, I don't know, about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they haven't been playing as well lately as they enter the NCAA tournament.
Certainly not how you draw it up to be playing as you enter March, but they're here for the first time in 7 years, so I think they'll take it. And now you get to kind of start over, I think, is how I would look at it. It's a new season, wipe clean the last few weeks, and go in fresh against Georgia.
And I guess Avila, he's the key. He's their best player. He was the A-10 player of the year, and he's also been hurt with plantar fasciitis.
He looked okay with his foot the last couple games. He was kind of the key factor for them down the stretch in both those games. They wouldn't have won the first one without him, that's for sure. And Schertz has said it multiple times. He felt like he had to get to the NCAA tournament to get Robbie Avila a chance in it because he's been so important to him in his career. He's been such a great player. And this is a guy who, if they do go on a little bit of a run, this guy's going to be a mega star. We see this every year in the tournament, these kind of guys who become household names. He's primed to be that kind of guy if they can go on a run.
And, of course, he took a lot less NIL money to stay loyal to Josh Schertz and come to St. Louis than he could have gotten going somewhere else, which I think is one of the reasons Billiken fans love him so much.
Absolutely, and he's just got a unique style.
What do we know about Georgia?
Georgia plays really fast. They dunk a lot, and I think they had a top 10 pace of play this season. They are in the SEC, so certainly a much tougher conference than the Atlantic 10. So they've been a little more battle-tested than SLU. But they weren't at the top of the SEC, and it's an 8-9 matchup. It's often a flip of a coin. I looked on ESPN before we came out here. A lot more people picking Georgia. But I think it's a coin flip. I think SLU could certainly win, but if they do, they get Michigan in the second round.
Yeah, which will be really tough. All right, NCAA first and second rounds right here in St. Louis, and Mizzou is part of that.
How about that? Can you believe that? Mizzou stumbles down the stretch as well. They get rewarded with a kind of home game in St. Louis against a Miami team that people aren't so excited about. I mean, they're certainly a good team, but people aren't kind of beating down the door saying they're going to make a run. All things considered, a great draw for Mizzou and a great draw for St. Louis with the teams that are coming to town.
And then there's Illinois, another team that looked unbeatable for a little while this season, but they also stumbled a little bit down the stretch.
Of all three of these teams, Illinois has the most talent of all our regional teams. That's for sure, 100%. But they haven't looked like it lately. If they look like the Illinois from a couple months ago, watch out, they could really go on a run.
And anything else you expect in the St. Louis regional?
I expect a lot of blue because Kentucky's in the regional. They travel maybe better than any fan base in the country. It's not that long of a drive. Going to be a lot of Wildcat fans here in St. Louis.
All right, that's Corey Miller in for Frank Cusimano, and that's Extra Points.